everybody. In tonight's episode, I talk with Red, Sheena, Shirley, and Kendra about the ref who made the student cut his locks in order to wrestle. Take a listen. Yeah. All right. Some of y'all might have seen this, but check this out. Y'all heard about this?
I was just watching that.
Come on.
Yo.
Wait, no, I saw the screenshot, but I didn't see this part. Show me this. What? They cut his hair?
They were cutting his dress.
Back.
I literally was watching this like 20 minutes ago.
Wait, what you said? What you said?
They were cutting it. She was like hacking it. It wasn't like, oh,
literally
try and hook you up. So
they love to come at our hair. I swear to God, they do. They love it.
Excuse
like
me,
hacking it, like just smashing it. Like that.
Yeah, no, she was ready. She's probably like, oh, I want to keep these so I can say that I have some sort of pride. Like, it's weird.
He won at least.
And he won. I mean, I'm sure he was pretty pissed off. Like, y'all made me cut my hair for this. I have to win now. I would be tight.
So, who's at fault here is my question.
I want to know, where does it say here? Like, where they have these?
No, they have it. It's actually a rule. They do have it. It's in like it's like it can't, but it's weird. So it's like it can't go lower than your collar, like a shirt collar, and they said it can't be lower than your earlobe.
Why? Because the hair's gonna be in the way of you tackling. Like, I'm trying to figure it out.
And then it also says it can't be lower than your
collar.
Right. So it's like three different pieces that they said it can't be like up to a shirt collar. It can't be lower than your ear, and it can't be lower than your eyebrow.
So
from different points of your head.
I got a question though. I'm just like, how long has he been wrestling, and how long has he been growing his hair? You understand? I'm just like, they've been letting him do this for so long, and then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, like it's like me, like, all right, well, you got these long dreads, and we've known you to have them this long, like, but today we gotta cut them off, like.
But the coaches
ain't nobody coming near my head with no scissors.
You said the
coaches felt him, because I feel like if they knew these rules, they should have been like, listen, I know you've been training for this, but this is a stick rule, and most likely they're gonna ask you to cut your dress. So let me put somebody else in.
Right. In the meantime, so you can figure that out. Hair is a very, very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Come on, girl.
People have attachments to hair. Hair is
it's the branches, man.
It just kind of reminds me of like when they were indoctrinating the Native Americans. A big part of that was getting them to change how they dress and cutting thetheir hair. And I feel like I read something. Don't quote me on this. I don't know how right, if I'm remembering this correctly, so don't look this up. They were saying, like, for the men that had long hair, when it came to their hunting skills and, just navigating certain spaces, like, they were a lot slower after their hair was cut. Yeah. I don't know. Like, hair is for me personally, is very emotional. Like, I have an emotional attachment to my hair, and like, I cut it when I'm ready. When I'm ready to let go of whatever it is I want to let go of, then I'll go and cut my hair. But I'm just like, to let someone else, first off, touching your hair, and then like, we could get into the whole, African-American / Caucasian debate when it comes to hair, and how this white woman just put her whole hand in there and was like, yeah, I got that. You know what I mean? That I didn't get to watch it. I did see the screen cap or the screenshot of it, and I kind of just breezed by it because I didn't read the caption, but I'm disturbed by that.
I don't know if it's a white woman, black man thing. I just think that his coaches first and foremost felt him. They knew better.
Yeah, they did. They did feel him.
I feel like y'all knew better, and y'all let him still go out there, and like, y'all should substitute him for somebody else. Yep. And I feel like the parents should have definitely said something too, like, y'all hate people.
We relinquished too much power, fam. Like, somebody recorded this joint. So, like, everybody there just sit here and observe this act being done, fam. Not considering I understand the child is prepping for a fight, but Like they're seeing
That's
this being
traumatizing
done,
too.
and that's traumatizing. But for the school to get a win, you dig what I'm saying? Not the fact that he gonna get a win. He could attribute it as his own win, but he lost like whatever experiences, whatever memories. He lost the purpose of why he was even growing his hair. You dig what I'm saying? Like that's so traumatizing, and they looked at it as like, oh, you gotta do this so we could get the win. Who's we, man?
And the coach was all, oh yeah, great job, you're doing great. Oh yeah. And then
he has to go home and look at himself, and it's like
chopped off.
Y'all know how you guys know how it is when you cut your hair, like after you've grown for a little while, you know.
But
that naked feeling, especially if that's not really what you were trying to do.
They don't even know what the hell.
Like, see, she's like chopping. It's not even like, oh, me make him presentable, and like everybody's coming giving him 5.
Exactly. This is the problem right here. Right here. Yeah. You doing it for the team. Good job, buddy. Good job, buddy. That's my number one issue with this.
So what?
Me too.
So what are all the forces that's in place? Someone who's re-encouraging this trauma that's happening right now, so he can like do some sort of cognitive dissonance. Like, yo, let's not focus on what's being done, but let's focus on the goal here.
Where we going? But I'm just like, at the end of the day, these accolades, is this really adding the value that you really like, that you really need in your life? You're doing all this for what? What's the ultimate goal here? You just cut your hair. For someone, that's the cultural marker. You cut your hair.
But that's
for someone else's agenda.
Wait, I feel like it's like you kind of have to make the decision in your life, like who's going to rule over you. And I feel like whether it's entertainment or a sport, or sometimes for people a job, you give people the power to rule over you, and you'll do whatever they say. So even if the coach is new, right, he could have said, no, I don't want to cut my hair. Well, you play for us, so you have to do it. Or you work here and here, we don't allow that. And once you say okay, like you have to constantly give your power and give your life to someone else. And I feel like whether it's like a team, like if you play for a college and you say, oh, I don't really want to do this, so you have to do it because we're paying for you. Or if you pay professionally, oh, I don't want to do it, so you have to do it because we own you. Like, we're the owners, you're the players. You work for us.
That own you, right?
You're fine with it. And I feel like that's what that is. It's not like, oh, this is wrong. I mean, it's wrong. But part of it is you allow it, right? You say this person tells you what to do, and it's fine. I don't think it's like a complexion thing because he looks like he could be mixed or whatever.
It's not complexion. It's just African American versus white people.
No, but his mom could be. You don't know. Like his mom could be white. Like I don't think it's the race.
He is
thing.
Black.
But he could be.
I think it ties into it. I'm not going to say that's the only factor at play, but for me, it ties into it. It definitely does.
But that's your own, like, oh, this white person's cutting this black person's hair. But you have to think.
It's not just that. It's just
we gotta dig that deep into it. I don't think everything needs to be a racial issue.
Right.
I just think that.
I mean, it might. You know what? But under the guise of where we at in this country, like, unfortunately, that is the case.
But unfortunately,
we could sit around and not pay attention to all we want, but that's the case. That would not happen to a white person. I'm sorry, I don't see it happening. I don't.
In 2018, I also feel like everybody's quick to say, "Oh my God, it's a white and black issue." And not everything.
No, I'm not. And again, let me clarify. I say that is a factor. I'm not going to say it's the only thing at play here, but I do think it is a factor. Like, we're talking dreadlocks. That's something. Even though white people have them, most times people are not telling white people you need to cut your hair. They're telling black people this thing. So yes, unfortunately, even though it's not something that's completely racial, there's a factor of race within this particular situation. It is what it is, and we can pretend that it's not there all we want, but it is there. It's a factor. It's not the only factor, but it's there.
This is something that I came across, which I want y'all to see, which is there's a dude named Left sent this on Twitter, and he said this. He said about the video.
That's exactly what I'm about to
of how the bipartisan nature of white supremacy works. the referee is overtly racist, while those white folks who were on the wrestlers' team ultimately encouraged and supported not the black teen, their teammate, but the views of the racist referee.
I feel like that's an oversimplification.
It can be, but I'm just asking, what do y'all think in regards to like does that, or at least for Shirley and Sheena, do you then disagree with what he's saying? Do you think that what he's saying makes sense, but it's still not like the whole race thing is not like the major issue?
I'm saying not that I disagree. I think it's you put yourself in that position when you allow someone to have control over your life. When you submit yourself to people who are not submitting themselves to you, right? So I'll do anything for this team, but this team is not going to do anything for you. I'll do anything for this school, but this school is not doing anything for you. Yeah. You have opened the door because you are fine, like submitting one way. And so you turned over everything. So was he mad? Yep. But I feel like he thinks like, what else could I do? And maybe
you could sit it out.
He needs this. Like, I need to wrestle and I'll do whatever I have to. And they're like, yeah, cut it. It's fine. You're going to win. Like, I feel like, but he's been conditioned to like give himself up. And
it could be social pressure, like, yo, I have to do this for the team, like they have this bond. It could also have to do with, like, I'm just thinking, well, not necessarily just his in particular situation, but this plays out again and again and again in that, like, he could be on a scholarship or something like that.
Right, I was just about to say, yeah, you never know what he has at stake.
Whatever. And, yeah, there's that. And also, we carry this into adulthood as well. I saw a tweet the other day saying, don't let these employers call you, try and pretend or try and tell you that your place of employment is family, like we're all a family here. Because what then happens is it becomes, oh, can you stay after without compensation? You know, we're a family. Can you do this extra whatever for free because we're all a family. But when the layoffs come, it's just business.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So that whole, like, I need to be part of the team no matter what. And like Sheena said, I need to give myself over to whatever the team or whoever's above me said. Like, when we do that and we're relinquishing control, that's where we have problems and things get used, like team atmospheres and family atmospheres. They try and, like, people and actual families actually use this as well, where it's like, all right, you're part of this family, so therefore give this control over to me and let me tell you what to do and let me force you to do X, Y, Z, which is not actually good for you.
And I think something to consider is considering everything that you guys were saying. What is the other way? All right, you could tell him to sit out, but what's the other avenue of because I'm saying all this to say, like, sometimes we say things are wrong, but we don't have a real solution. Meaning, like, let's say if the system is off, right? Well, do you have another system in place that if this child decides to sit out, he can put and be as proficient in that sport? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, all right, well, the NFL is twisted. All right, no doubt. Do you got another NFL that you could sit here and be offering these cats millions of dollars so they can do what they're going to do? No, you don't. So now it's like, all right, so how do we fracture this system? You know what I'm saying? So I look at it as, even in terms of what the Twitter joint was saying, it's like, yo, you have a system that's already in place. Like, yo, you can't look like this. Then you have the system in terms of the team that says, like, yo, this is the family. This is about how we can all succeed as a school. You know what I'm saying? So what are you willing to do? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you have all these systems that are in place that are like driving your decision. Like, man, do I do this for the team? Do I do this for me? Like, what does this mean if I don't do this for the team? Am I sit here, like, who has my back? because it looked like the team got my back. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes like that, and I don't know how young this child is, or where where his fortitude lies in terms of like, yo, do I rock with family or I rock for myself? You know what I'm saying? And it gets
He's
like
super impressionable, you know.
Yeah.
Being so young.
So I want to just say last words. Any last words? Starting with Shirley, because she looked like she tight. Like she.
Nah, I'm good.
Any last words? Anybody? Like any last thoughts or takeaways? I got a takeaway.
I say my takeaway is like either have your own or be prepared to do whatever someone else does. It can't be both. You can't be like, oh, I'll do here, but I won't. Like, I'll play for the team, but they can't tell me what to do. Then you're not playing for the team because it's going to be a part. It's going to come a time where you're going to have to separate. So you're either all in or you're making your own so you don't have to be all in.
My takeaway is like, you know, when I finally do decide to have children, when I'm raising them, of course, you know, it's a cliche, but like, you know, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And just body autonomy, because I feel like they violated, even though he knew and even though they knew, they could have talked to him prior to this moment instead of embarrassing him this way. And that they failed to do that. They failed him in that regard. They really did. Yeah. So
I think we need to be mindful of the teams we are part of.
Word.
Sometimes people say that they're part of your team and that they have your best interests in mind, but that might not be the case.
And the only thing I can say is that we got to start thinking about alternatives. You know what I'm saying? And
thinking about what?
You got to start thinking about alternatives. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we, literally, what are we willing to sacrifice, you know what I'm saying, for the greater good of who we are, you know what I'm saying, what we're supposed to be in based on for our purposes, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, if all systems is twisted, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, what's the alternative that you want to establish, man, in order for people to see differently, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think Reg is telling you to get the passports ready.
Dog.
I think he said a spaceship. He said there's no other place here.
Listen.
He said get a spaceship.